In this video, let's talk about the basics of backlinks. First, what are backlinks, right? So they're basically incoming links to your website or your web page from an external source. So you'll hear these as incoming links, inbound links, inward links, maybe backward linking, but basically backlinks. It's a big SEO term, and that's what it is. It's all the other sites that are linking back to you. That's sort of where the name came from. Now, in the dark ages, right? So in the whole sort of black hat SEO, you might have heard that particular term. It used to be that you could just do comments over people's blogs and that would link back to your blog and people could get links that way. It used to be you could do white text, which was just putting a whole bunch of links on a page and then making them the same color as the background so the human eye couldn't see them, but they were there and the robots would come through and kind of give it credibility and look like links coming back. So that was super, super spammy. Google very, very quickly shut all that stuff down years and years ago. And it actually got rid of most of the spammy link generators that are out there. So link farms are another thing that's out there. Really, when it comes down to it, you don't want to do any of that. If you feel like you're kind of tricking the system into linking back to you somehow, you're going down the wrong route. And if you are ever paying for a backlink, it is against Google's terms of service and it can actually get you delisted from Google. That's essentially taking off the internet if they drop you. So you want to make sure that you are playing by the rules and just providing great content. So let's talk about the golden rule. Okay, so remember, if it feels like a shortcut, don't do it. If you're paying for it, definitely don't do it because it's against terms of service. So here's some Google compliant backlinking ideas. This is stuff that Google wants you to do. So commenting on relevant blogs, let's talk about that for a second. Do you get an actual backlink? Technically, no. However, you get a link, you can put your link in there, somebody can click on your site and then it can come back to your content, right? But it doesn't technically count as a backlink because it's what they call a no-follow link. Now, I'm not going to get too technical with that here, but essentially it doesn't really help you from an SEO perspective, but it does help you from a traffic perspective. And if I'm on somebody else's blog and I'm reading your comment and I think it's interesting and it's thoughtful and it's valuable and your site is linked to your comment, which most places allow you to do that, I would click on your comment. I could go over to your site. Google's going to see that. Google definitely sees stuff like that. And maybe I do some sharing and stuff like that from your site. And if I'm doing that, that's what's going to help you with your SEO. So this is still something where you still want to make sure that you're commenting on relevant blogs. It does help you to build an audience. Writing good quality content. So many people just forget about this, but it really comes down to submitting well-written content to your market. And if they are sharing it and it's engaging and they're doing stuff with it, Google's going to notice that and Google's going to start ranking it higher and higher and higher. So if you're not already publishing a blog, definitely take a look at doing that. Social media is another huge signal, and this is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. So make sure that you're sharing your posts on social media, even if you're paying to promote those posts so that people see it in their timelines, which you have to do a lot on Facebook now, but putting it all over social media, whatever one you're particularly comfortable with. If you're somebody who spends a lot of time on Twitter, then do Twitter. If Facebook's your thing, do that. If Pinterest is your thing, do that. But use the platform that you're the most comfortable with and make sure that you're spreading your message out there. Guest blog posting. This is something that we've recently started here, and you can see we were asked to do a guest blog post for this blog. It was actually digitalmarketer.com, a blog post that we did about Google Analytics. And we never paid for that. They didn't pay us for that. It was just, hey, we want content, and would you be willing to share your expertise on our blog? Of course we were, right? But it opens us up to a whole new audience. Now, again, does that mean that from an SEO perspective, it helps us directly? Maybe not, because this guest blog post could be considered a no-follow link. They might no-follow it, in which case that means we don't get the SEO juice, right, from a true backlink. But look at those shares. All those shares were happening. Now, this helps their blog a lot, but it brings back all this audience, introduces them to us through the author box, through me by my own author name there. And we do get links back to our site. We actually get a decent amount of traffic back to our site from this blog post. So even though technically from an SEO ranking perspective, it may not help right away, that is still a strong, strong signal where Google goes, wow, people responded. They found this blog post. They liked it so much, they went back to the original author's blog. And when you do stuff like that, that has to help you with SEO. Participating in relevant forums, this kind of goes back with comments. So forums are still around, believe it or not. Facebook groups, things like that, technically may be able to help you occasionally because you're just sort of spreading your name out there through traffic. But forums, if you can get that, there's lots of different forum sites that are out there that are not under the Facebook domain, and you can actually spread your word, get some traffic out that way as well. For more information, of course, you want to go through and visit us at seriouslysimplemarketing.com, especially when it comes to SEO questions. Again, the name of the game is not to trick Google into ranking you higher. Just provide great content. Have content that people want to share. SEO isn't really that complicated. It's nowhere near as complicated as it once was because, to be honest, most of the tricks don't work anymore. And so it just comes down to providing good content, providing content people will interact with, share, and engage with. So if you do that, you are way, way ahead of where a lot of the pack is, and you will be still around 5 or 10 years from now, even if Google's switching around the rules, because Google will never say we're not going to rank good content. They will always rank good content. So do your best to do that, and that will help you out and get you lots of links back to your site. Thanks again for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.